Hey, you guys, Karen from Ask the Spirit Guides. I hope you're doing well today. I wanted to do a card reading for to help us get some higher perspective on families divided during this political time. And I think it's happening all over the world because we've had some in our family, okay? And so because we've had some of this going on in my own family, I wanted to dig into this a little bit for myself, and I thought I'll always bring you along. So I might as well bring you along for the ride. So, what I did first is I asked the pendulum, so the little round chart with the letters on it, and my spirit guide spelled out some things for me, okay? And I can confirm with the dowsing rods. Then I asked them what cards we should use to give us some higher perspective. And that's what we're looking for, some higher perspective about this. Because it's painful. It's painful, right? Let's not pretend it's not. Some of it is and some of it isn't. Some of it is like, maybe you've been waiting to get away from certain people for a long time and this was a good excuse to do it. But it's still painful. It's still like makes me go, like why is this happening like this? And I really do prefer to look at the higher perspective of things, because if I don't, then I can sit in my feelings too much. So what they said from the higher perspective is, so I said to them, please give me a message about, so I did my prayer, please give me a message about the higher perspective of families divided during this time. So basically, let's just say MAGA and everybody else. Okay, because I'm not even putting Republicans in MAGA. I am putting in like people who think Trump is like it's worth splitting up with your family because you love Trump so much. Because here's the thing. I'm a liberal and I cannot stand this whole radical liberal stuff. It's so rude. We need to stop that. Just stop it. Oh, because I actually care that everybody is welcome. Like, oh, well, that's such a horrible thing that everybody is welcome, That makes me a radical liberal. So anyways, I can get a little sassy about that. But Republicans, just because you're a Republican doesn't mean you approve. Okay, doesn't mean you're approving what's going on with this administration. Okay, so we just have to be really careful about that. Because I know I have Republican friends who are like appalled at what's going on with this. So, and we've seen Republicans move, Liz Cheney, we've seen several others who are just, so we just have to be, I'm being careful about how I'm grouping people basically. So the thing is, I've been thinking about this. There has never been a president, a Democrat, a Republican, a Democrat, whatever, that I have ever, if somebody said to me, pay attention to what Biden's doing, because he's breaking the law right now, and he is trying to become a dictator. If somebody said that to me as someone who voted for him, I would not break up with my family over that. Okay? But there are MAGAs who do that. And so that tells me that that is the brainwashing. I could be wrong, but that doesn't, I have never held a president up as if they were like the the be all and end all of the world. I mean, they're like literally holding him up as if he's God, So to me, that's a huge difference. So that's where I'm coming from this. So I said to them, what is the higher perspective of families divided? They said self-reflection. Okay, that's the higher perspective, which is why I'm doing the cards. Okay. Then I said, well, go higher than that. What's the even higher perspective of self-reflection? And they said higher knowing. Okay. And I said why, and they said love. Okay. So they are wanting us the higher perspective of there's a lot of self-reflection going on. Now I could say, well, I think and I said, well, is it the higher okay, so this is when I pulled my rods out and I was like, well, let me just ask them. So I closed my aura to all but my higher self, the God consciousness, my guides and guardians, and all of those of the purest and highest light. And I ask Archangel Michael to please protect this channel and this channel so that it is only of the purest and highest light. Amen. Okay, so you guys, my SGs, you were telling me, you spelled out high self-reflection, that was something for the high perspective of what's going on in the world, correct? Yes. Okay. So with that being the case, is it the higher, is it the self-reflection of impasse that you want, is the result of, is it for impasse only, let's say? Oh, wow. See, I asked that and I was like, oh, maybe it is just for impasse. Okay. Wow. Because that is, because I was thinking, well, is it required for those who are MAGA to do self-reflection? Is that a higher perspective? No. Okay. So the higher perspective is not for the MAGAs, because we're always like, well, I'm always reflecting like you reflect. Right? So especially empaths, we're always reflecting, especially feeler empaths. So, okay. So are the MAGAs being petty tyrants? We've talked about petty tyrants here a couple of times. I have it in a I have it in a title if you want to search it on the channel. Petty tyrants. Okay. So they are petty tyrants for the empaths, for self-reflection, for higher knowing and love. Yes. So they're not here for that self-reflection? No. And they're not here for that higher knowing? No. Is it because they already do have that higher knowing? No. Is it because the higher perspective is the realm wants the empaths to play a role, a certain role, and the only way they can play that role is through this self-reflection and higher knowing? Ah, yes, really wide swing. So that's why we're being challenged right now to do this, basically. Got it. Okay. Hopefully that's helpful. That's helpful for me. That's helpful for me, so I can stop being irritated that I'm the only one reflecting on this stuff. I'm not saying I am. I have no idea if other people are, but it doesn't feel like people who believe that F45 is the way to go for the world are doing any reflecting. It feels like a lower vibration reflecting, basically. So, okay, let me know what you think about that. So this is the very interesting thing. When I asked the oracle cards, my deck of oracle cards, so I have a little deck that I put on these tarot cards, all of my oracle cards on a deck, okay? I pulled out, so then I have about 50, 60 of them, and I shuffle, and some fly out, okay? Then I asked the SGs, using the rods, if these are the two they want me to use. They said yes. Look at the two. What's the similarity? What do you see there? I just laughed when I got both of these. I thought, okay, I see what's happening here. It's the rise of the feminine. The rise of the feminine. Very cool, huh? Okay, I have these linked below, the Medicine Woman. I love all these. I love all the decks. I haven't really used the feminine wisdom that much, so let's see. Okay, so let's just see what they want us to do, some self-reflection. So let's see what messages they have for that. All right, let's start with the feminine wisdom. Feminine wisdom, okay? So we are doing some higher perspective on families divided. Higher perspective on families divided. That will give us some things for self-reflection and a higher perspective of higher knowing, okay? And ultimately love, all right? So what messages do you guys want to share with us that would help us do some reflecting on this higher perspective of families divided? Families, friends, it's just loved ones divided, basically. I should say loved ones divided. What do you want us to reflect on? What would be helpful for us right now for a higher knowing? What do you want us to reflect on? Anything, anything. Higher knowing, what do you want us about families? What's the higher perspective of families and loved ones divided during this time? I don't feel anything significant. Oh, maybe this one. Oh, I pulled two. Okay, let's see. So what I do after I do this, I check with the rods. And if you're new, I'll check with the rods, and which is really the spirit guides, and see if I pulled the right cards. They might be, okay, so there was a bunch that jumped. So when a bunch jump like that, there was three, there's probably one in there that they're like, yeah, we're trying to get that one out. Okay. All right, so let's just see. I have 5 in front of me. I'm not looking at the messages. So I have the back side of the card here. Okay, so did I pull did I pull the messages you want to have for us today? Yes. Okay. Is there more than one? Yes. Okay, so let's start from the right side. The first message? No. The second card? No. The third card? Okay, so that was the one you were trying to get out. The fourth card? No. And the fifth card? Okay, so the third and the fifth card? Okay. So I'm not going to read the other ones, otherwise this gets a little long, but okay. So the third and the fifth. All right, let's do it. So again, this is self-reflection, giving us some higher perspective on families and loved ones divided, or some higher knowing for yourself, okay? So what do you see? 36 reduces to 9. 3 plus 6 is 9. What higher perspective or higher knowing are you getting from that image? Okay. Direction. Movement towards desires and guidance. Movement towards desires and guidance. You'll please let me know in the comments or share with the community what you're picking up, what kind of things are helping you reflect on the divided, loved ones type of thing. What are you learning from this anyways, is what I mean to say. All right, direction. A course of movement and actions, guidance towards something or someone. You consciously chose the direction of your life. You are open to inner guidance and ready to follow the path that feels right. Whether you are only just beginning or already on your way, hold what you desire in your heart confidently and firmly. Remember that following your life's direction requires focus, patience, and consistency. The affirmation is, the path that scares me the most is the one I need to take. So I'm wondering, for higher perspective, sometimes we do have family members or loved ones in our lives, friends, that are not on the same path, right? They're not on the same path as we are, and we tend to stick with it. We tend to stick with it because they're loved ones, they're family. I've been best friends with them forever, right? And we tend to stick with them, okay? So they're saying, remember that following your life's direction requires focus, patience, and consistency. So you are open to, you consciously chose the direction of your life. You are open to inner guidance and ready to follow the path that feels right to you. And a lot of the times, I'm just intuiting this for myself, a lot of the times when we have loved ones or family that have been in our lives for so long, they want us to follow the path that feels right to them when we start following our path, or we get stuck because we are afraid to follow our path because we don't want to disappoint people. That's pretty much been my life. I don't want to disappoint anybody. So I am going to stick around in this environment because I don't want to disappoint anybody, right? Yeah, no. And, when other people leave your life because of a political reason, then they're like, yeah, look how quickly they left. And I'm sticking around for years and years and years. You know what I mean? It's kind of interesting. Okay, here's the next one. So this is a number 8. Number 8. Are you getting anything from that? Any make you feel a certain way? Okay. Peace, tranquility, acceptance. Okay. Oh, won't that be nice? So, if you do let go of people who are not on your path, because I think that's what we do, this might be the result. Even though it's hard and it's sad and you do have to face those feelings, face the feelings. Freedom from war, violence, or disturbance, a state of tranquility. So a higher perspective of families divided is freedom from war, violence, or disturbance, a state of tranquility. Your way to inner peace is through radical acceptance. Realize that all you have is all you really need to fully enjoy this life. A fulfilled heart, quiet mind, and freedom from attachment are the simplest ways to a joyous and peaceful life. Turn off unnecessary noises and little daily annoyances. Consciously practice staying calm and balanced. You are worthy of a harmonious life. So always keep your peace protected. Always keep your peace protected. That is a huge message right there. Always keep your peace protected. Affirmation, in spite of temporary obstacles, I choose peace. I choose peace. Very cool. Love it. Love this. I needed this today. I did. Okay, let's do the Medicine Woman Oracle. Okay, what messages do you guys have from this deck? Oh, got one popped out right away. Were there two? Okay. I'll see if those are. Any other messages you guys want us to have from this deck? Oh, I really liked that Feminine Wisdom one. What was that called? The Feminine Wisdom Oracle. Love that. I haven't used that very much. I had a popper, but I lost it. They'll find it again. Thank you. I got 2 poppers. Okay, let me just see if they want any other ones. Okay, so is the card you want us to have in front of me? Yes. Are there any others in the deck? No. Okay, so let's start from the right. Is it the first card? Yes. The second card? No. The third? No. And the fourth? Okay, yes. So the first and the fourth. Okay. All right. So 2. All right. When I do the decoding messages for the month, sometimes they pick a lot of cards. Okay. So this is a 6 card. I feel like we've gotten her before. 6, it's a 6. So again, we're talking about higher perspective. I always have to remind myself when I'm looking at some of this. Higher perspective of family and loved ones divided, self-reflection, higher knowing, love. What do you see? It's a little creepy. Is that a tree or what is that? Okay. All right. Self-knowledge. Dive into your depths where your truth resides. Okay. Yeah. This time is really making us do that, isn't it, during this time? Now, can't remember if I talked about it here, but we are in the Spirit Circle, which is the membership for the channel. Starting in April 2025, we are starting to talk about shadows, shadow work. So we are going to basically be diving into the depths of where our truth resides, because we're going to be clearing out the shadows, and then we'll be able to see that a little bit clearer. So join us if you want to. If it's after April, it might take us a couple months, I'm not sure. But if it's after April, then the videos will always be there. So you can always, All right. So I am the memory of the divine nature. I breathe into you the powerful desire for inner quests, the light on the path to self-knowledge. Again, it's that path message. We've gotten 2 paths. So it's basically just another reminder that we are on an individual path. Sometimes we think we're in a pack. I think our family and friends, and we feel like we have to stick with the pack. That just occurred to me, right? So this is the second one of path, okay? That we are on our own individual path. We don't have to follow the pack. So the guidance is you are a woman of knowledge or a man of knowledge, okay? Because this is feminine rising, okay? So men have feminine also, so it's increasing the feminine energy. It is a time to shine a light on the true nature of who you are. To start on this journey towards yourself, you will have to dive into the depths of your unconscious. Do so gently. To face your unconscious is the first step towards healing. Shed light on your shadows. You cannot make this up. That's amazing. Collect your experience, then sieve them through your inner vision. You can consult a therapist or a shaman or carry out a ritual. Once you begin your individual inner revolution, you can change the world. I'm going to stick with the carry out the ritual. You can do that. It's actually, I think it works, and I'm always looking for the easier, not necessarily easier, but just like the most efficient way, I guess. Okay, here's the second one. Okay, all right. Let's see how that's going to help. Okay. That is a snake, isn't it? Year of the snake right now. Shedding old beliefs. Number 3, sacred sexuality. Reconnect with the source of your divine sexuality. Okay? It's just interesting that that's a snake, and it's about shedding your old self. That's what all of these cards are asking us to do. And so, get rid of the layers, get rid of the old beliefs so that you can get down to dive into the depths. It's fascinating. So number 3, okay, this has to do with higher perspectives. So we might have to, dig a little bit on this one. Higher perspectives. 3, okay, sacred sexuality. Okay, so the message. I am Kundalini, the snake coiled at the base of your spine, the energy of the deeps, your precious ally for sacred sexuality. The ancient matriarchal tribes worshipped women as cosmic wombs filled with Earth's life force. In the orgasmic union of the male and female principles, the delicious, sorry, there's just so many words that are kind of, I don't know. The delicious beat, B-E-A-T, that moves the elements could express itself. Sexuality, the doorway to true love, thus becomes the prelude to spiritual experiences. In the Hindu Tantra tradition, when Kundalini awakens, our sexual energy rises up the lengths of our spine, and the bodily aspects fade away before a vast feeling of completeness where heart and consciousness open wide. What the F? No, just teasing. Don't we get all squirrely when it comes to this kind of topic? I do. I'm all like, why? Why are we talking about this? Okay. Oh my Lord. Okay, so I am not... So this is higher perspective of families divided, higher knowing. So there's something here. I don't think it has to do necessarily. I mean, it's sexuality, right? So um so the snake coiled at the base of your spine, the energy of the deeps, your precious ally for sacred sexuality. Okay. So it is about, okay, so it's about, it could be about the union of male and female principles. So it's like the balance. It's the balance. And so the higher perspective, that's how I'm going to read this, just because the other part just doesn't resonate with me with our original question. But higher perspective of families divided, self reflection will help raise the feminine energy, right? And it could be it's this one idea. You tell me what you think. Can't wait to hear what you guys say because that will help me a lot. And just a higher knowing. I think we'll have a higher knowing and we'll be able to dive into our depths when be on our own life path and find our way to peace when we balance that masculine and feminine energy within ourselves, within our family units, within our communities and the world and just the energy on earth. So that's kind of how I'm going to interpret that. I kind of like these cards. What do you think? What do you think? Did that give you anything to reflect on? I might do a little altar with my charms and some crystals and maybe light a candle with some intentions from these because this is a big thing. This is a big thing in our family and my friend groups, and I'm wondering if it is in yours. So this might be something to really do a little altar for yourself, set some intentions based on these cards or pull your own cards just to help release it, help dissolve some of that. So, and it's not necessarily for me to even bring back those relationships. It's about allowing the relationships. It's allowing them to go where they need to go and not fighting it. Because I'm at that point in my life. It's just, I'm not going to be angry about it at all. I'm just going to be like, okay, that's where we need to go. That's okay. That's okay. So, yeah. So what do you think? Let me know. I can't wait. I'm going to learn from you. So please add what you're getting out of this so that I can get some different perspective on the cards too. So, all right. Have a great one. Bye-bye.